And Assemblywoman Niou is here now, so good to have you here on Picks on Politics. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me. And it was District 65, actually.
65, there we go. So let's go with that, right? So let's begin with the question I've been asking all the candidates thus far, right? Why Congress and why now?
So I am running for Congress to give my community a voice, to hold accountable the people who rigged our economy, trashed our climate, profiteered during a pandemic, and also cheered on the rise of white supremacist violence, like what we saw in Buffalo. I have the story of the 10th. Like inside of me, I am the story of the 10th.
Yeah.
It's a district that blends together so much of the diverse experience that makes New York great. And I know the district because I've spent my entire elected career serving these communities.
Yeah. And there's so much involved in the 10. We're really focusing in here on Pix 11 because of these redrawn districts. This is brand new territory, right? So in your opinion, were the lines fair and accurate? And one of your fellow candidates, Mondaire Jones, switching districts, running in the 10th. What do you make of all of this?
I mean, it's a little bit of a tragedy on what happened with the redistricting. I think that, I think that the special master was trying to be as fair as he knew how, because obviously he's not from New York.
Yeah.
But I think that really, there is one significant thing, which is that they did, put the two Asian American, parts of the district together, which I think was something that the special master actually wrote into document, which I think was really important for folks to know.
So it's something when I do want to talk about some of the big issues right now as well, and one of those being gun control, right? New York passing gun control laws, some of the toughest. You were part of that. On the federal level, they're looking to make changes to background checks, red flag laws. I was just talking to Congressman Torres about this. Do you want them to go further, and how, as a member of Congress, would you get bipartisan support?
Yeah, so I think that, I don't know how, I personally felt like the bipartisan deal, the gun bill, it really just kind of simply transformed our gun problem into a mental health problem and perpetuated kind of like that ableist kind of harmful idea that people with mental health issues are more prone to violence, which isn't true necessarily, and I think that our schools will undoubtedly actually really benefit from the investment that this package will actually make into our school-based mental health services, which is good, but it's really a drop in the bucket in the effort to really end our gun violence epidemic. And I was just outside with children just last week, really, talking a lot about what it is that they want to see, and we really need to take AR-15s off the street and really instate a ban on civilian body armor, and I think that that's really kind of it.
Yeah, and that's really the fight in Congress to get that bipartisan support. Guns leads to crime, right? And crime is a big issue here in New York City, as are the costs to live here overall. So let's talk about this. The highest rent cost in the city, the average rent is really in your district, Battery Park City, more than $5,700 a month for a one-bedroom apartment right now. You yourself live in the financial district. So do you see rent prices as a big issue? Is there a solution, I guess, on the federal level to address the rising rent costs, to make it more affordable?
Yes, and I think that, one of the things that I constantly talk about is the fact that, here in Lower Manhattan, where, in the 65th district, 1/3 of my district is actually public housing, and we have not literally funded our public housing on the congressional level in decades. And we have divested from public housing for decades, and we need to fully fund public housing. It is the actual only true affordable housing in New York, and I think that it's really important that we are actually keeping our housing stock whole and
But you're
healthy.
talking about the federal government paying for that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Our former Congresswoman, Nydia Velázquez, has an incredible bill to fully fund public housing. They also had put in public housing into the Build Back Better plan, and that needs to be fully funded.
Another big issue, speaking of rising rents, is this word inflation, costs going up for gas, price to buy goods, to buy a home, baby formula shortage. How, if you're a member of Congress, do you tackle all of this?
So we know that billionaire CEOs are giving themselves pay raises every single year, but working New Yorkers are still begging the government to raise the minimum wage so that they can afford housing and transportation. And that is a broken system, and it is broken by choice. We have greedy corporations that have worsened our inflation crisis by prioritizing share buybacks and fat bonuses over increasing oil production. So when voters look at rising gas prices, they should blame that oil company CEO buying his third yacht, right? We're ignoring our working class and middle class families, and the Republican solution is to propose another tax giveaway written by and for billionaires, right? And I support, Senator Elizabeth Warren's plan to hold mega corporations accountable and to spread our economic growth out to working families. I think that we have to fight for a fair economy that works for everyone, and we also have to really make sure that we are actually holding folks accountable who need to be held accountable.
All right, 20 seconds left here. Are you worried about Democrats overall come midterms? What is the strategy?
I mean, I think that, one of the things that we have to do is to make sure that we're not giving up seats, right? One of the things that happened during this redistricting process that I saw was that people were literally giving up seats that they could have fought for and they should have fought for. And I think that, if you're trying to increase the ability for Democrats to be able to win and to be able to have, continued control over our House, I think that we have to remember that also that New York is literally the place where the majority is held. And I think that we have to make sure that we're not giving up seats here.
I'm going to leave it there. Assemblywoman Niou, good to have you here.